Good day, Professional Skills 2 students. This is the briefing video for the F1sp. So if you go to assignments on Cole Campus and click on F1sp brief, you'll find exactly where I am now. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and you'll find the file there. So click on this and you can download it and you'll come up with this document here. So it's due on the 16th of October, obviously online as we've been doing things recently. Okay, so this is an individual assignment. It's going to focus on you as an individual, and it's obviously quite similar to the F1. So make sure that you've got that assessment at the ready so that you can build on anything that you might be able to improve on for the SUP assessment. Question 1. One of the most effective techniques to ensure that you are always behaving in an appropriate way is to develop a personal mission statement that defines your purpose in life and focuses on what you want to become and how you want to achieve this state. And this is from your textbook on page 51. In the light of this, you're required to write your personal mission statement, which includes the following. So first of all, the kind of person you want to be, your character, next, what you want to accomplish in your life, or your contributions, and then finally the principles that you want to guide your behavior, your values. So this needs to be written as a paragraph, not as bullet points, and it needs to speak to all of these with enough to gain you 4 marks. So the kind of person you want to be, who are you? What do you want to, how do you want other people to see you? What kind of person do you want to be? After this, your contributions, what do you want to achieve? What are the things that you will consider yourself being successful after you have achieved them? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Describe your life, that kind of thing, or 10 years. And then finally, the principles that you want to guide your behavior or your values. How do you want to achieve all these things? Are you a get rich or die trying kind of person? Are you willing to stand on people to get to the top? Or do you have a different way of governing your life? So what are the values that you hold that are going to guide your contributions? And then as this states, yes, it needs to be 1 paragraph and not answered as bullet points. Question 2. Planning begins by identifying your overall purpose or mission statement. You've done this in question 1. This is the foundation of all operational goals, planning activities, and criteria against which actual accomplishments are measured. 52 of your textbook. Now that you have your personal mission statement above, you are required to do a SWOT analysis, which describes your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, each of these are for 4 marks. We have covered these things in class before, but I just want to go through them with regards to this table. Now, pause the video at this point and draw out this table so that you have a copy of it. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Now, they have been broken up into a couple of different categories. So first of all, your strengths and your opportunities are helpful. They're helpful because they help you achieve your objective. Whereas weaknesses and threats are harmful. They get in the way. They're obstacles to achieving your objective. Next is of an internal origin. So attributes of the organization if you're doing it for a business or company. But obviously if it's just for you, this is attributes of yourself. These are internal. So your strengths and weaknesses are part of you. They are only to do with you. They are not to do with anyone else. Whereas opportunities and threats are external to you. They are of external origin. They have got to do with your environment, the attributes of your environment, not attributes of you. So when you are going through this question, ensure that your strengths and weaknesses are only to do with you. They are not to do with somebody else. They're not to do with external things. They're not to do with your college or your family or your work environment. They are only to do with you. Whereas your opportunities and threats are only external. They are not internal to you at all. If you are still struggling a little bit to figure out exactly what your whether things are internal or external, please obviously get in touch with me. But you can also do quite a bit of research online. There's a lot of stuff online that can help you with SWOT analyses. So that's 2.1. 2.2 is formulate a brief strategy on how you plan to achieve your goals by capitalizing on your strengths and overcoming your weaknesses. So a brief strategy on how you plan to achieve your goals. Question 3 for 21 marks. When you're applying for a job or planning to do work for a company, as you are right now for your experiential learning, it's vital that you do adequate research on a company. So remember, when you, or even before you apply for a job, it's really important that you do research on the company that you're applying to. And this is even more important when you go for an interview. You need to know the company that you're getting involved with, so that you can answer questions that relate to the company and relate your skills to what the company is looking for. So question 3.1, what is the name of the media organization? Very simple. Sorry, I didn't finish answering just reading out the question there. Pick any media related company. So yes, it has to be a media company that you would like to use your media related skills for, and research this company. Cover the questions below in your answer. Note, everything needs to be referenced. So if you are wanting to work for News 24, after every single bit of information that you get about News 24, you need to insert that reference. So what is the name of the media organization? 3.1, in this case, News 24. 3.2, what do you understand is their main purpose? You need to go onto the company's website and you need to see what their purpose is. What do they do? And write that down and obviously reference it. Preferably put it into your own words, but you still need to reference this information. 3.3, what appeals to you about this company? Why do you want to work there? Why does this sound like a good fit for you specifically to work there? And that's for 4 marks. This is an application question. So take something from their website, reference it, and then say why this aspect of this company actually appeals to you. 3.4, how could you use your specific media skills to help them? Explain your answer in detail. So what would you add by working for them? And this is quite a common question that you would get asked in an interview. What would you bring to this company? What skills do you have that this company needs? This is matching yourself again to this company. 3.5, although your motives in helping them would be to learn, how do you think doing pro bono or free work for them would help you in your career? Explain your answer. So you need to think about how getting this experience from this specific company would help you on your career trajectory as you see it right now. Okay, and then there's obviously extra elements to this question, as we like to do. Ensure that each answer above uses full sentences. So please, full sentences, what this means is when you're answering a question such as 3.1, what is the name of the media organization? Don't say News 24. Your answer should read, the name of the company is News 24. That is a full sentence. Your answer should never just be words. They need to be full sentences so that I don't have any questions once I've read your answer. And the reason that you're using full sentences is you need to answer these as if you are giving your answers to an interviewer. Your answers also need to show that you have done your research and you have an understanding of what the organization does. We're not going to judge you based on the organization as long as it's a media organization. You should rather have one that you know a lot about so that you can answer these questions accurately and with good understanding. And then finally, your answer also needs to show that you have a clear understanding of how you can apply your specific media skills to this organization. So why are you a fit? Why do you work well with this organization? Question 4 is your CV again. Develop a professional curriculum vitae for your perfect job. Your marks will be awarded as per the marking criteria provided below. So I'll go through that in just a second. Your additional marks are 5 marks for referencing both in text and on your page of references, for professional formatting, and finally for good use of language. So please go through the learning outcomes in your own time, the assessment criteria and mark breakdown. go through this and almost mark your submission before you hand it in to make sure you have done all of this exactly as we have asked you to do it. So your CV is being marked very similarly as to the main paper. Professional email address is your length of CV as recommended. Have you paid some attention to appearance? So have you used a bigger font for your headings and a slightly smaller font for your text? Are there design elements like headings, line spaces, bullets to guide the reader's eye and highlight key points? And is there a good balance of text and white space? Are your margins, indents, and alignment even and consistent throughout? And one of the ways to get around all of these things is to use a template on something like Canva or Google Documents. Next is your structure. Are all sections present? So we are looking for things like your heading, your personal and contact details, your education, your work history, your extracurricular activities, and your references for 6 marks. Are the various sections in the usual, recommended, or a logical sequence? So CVs always come in a similar sequence. Have you used this sequence? And is your education and work history listed in reverse chronological order? So in other words, most recent first. Then your content, do you provide at least 2 communication methods by which we can contact you or the recruiter can contact you? Have you included your LinkedIn profile URL? Not necessary to include Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All we care about is LinkedIn, and we want the URL, not just your name. Have you omitted non-relevant personal information? So if you've gone into too much detail about something that is completely irrelevant, you're going to lose that mark there. You need to also include your computer and language skills, which should be quite high, seeing as that's all included in your diploma. Have you used industry keywords? You can use this in your professional profile or in the description of the duties that you have done during your work experience. And yes, it is incredibly important that you do have work experience. Have you included any awards or affiliations? Have you avoided claiming soft skills for which you can provide no proof or examples? If you list any extracurricular activities, are they relevant to the job, active or unusual? So they need to contain evidence of character traits such as leadership or teamwork skills. And then finally, you have to have 2 to 3 references with all of the necessary detail. And then the final bit is for your writing style. Do you avoid going into first person so you don't use I or my? And is the content logical and easy to follow? Is the CV as close to perfect as possible with no careless typos, spelling, grammar, language, and punctuation errors? So please go through your CVs from the F1, go through my briefing video for the F1 main paper, and then go through the review of the feedback for the F1 so that you can check exactly where you would have lost marks in your main paper so that you can make sure that you don't lose these marks again for your CV. And as always, you're more than welcome to send me drafts to get in touch so that you know that you're on the right track. So please get in touch if you have any questions. But good luck for this assessment, and I will speak to you soon. Cheers.